Rupert Murdoch was born on March 11, 1931, in Melbourne, Australia. He grew up in a family that worked in the media industry. His father, Sir Keith Murdoch, was a well-known newspaper publisher in Australia. Rupert learned a lot from his father about newspapers and business. When Rupert was young, he liked to read newspapers and watch how they worked. Rupert went to a good school, and later he went to the University of Oxford in England. He studied philosophy, and after finishing his studies, he decided to follow in his father's footsteps and work in the media business. Rupert inherited his father's company after his father passed away in 1952. This company, called the Herald and Weekly Times, owned many newspapers in Australia. At first, Rupert worked hard to make the newspapers better. He wanted to increase the number of readers and make his newspapers more successful. He was not afraid to try new ideas. One of his first big decisions was to buy a newspaper called The News in Adelaide. This was the beginning of his media empire. Rupert also bought other newspapers in Australia, and soon he became a very important person in the Australian media world. In the 1960s, Rupert decided to expand his business outside of Australia. He moved to the United Kingdom and bought a newspaper called The Sun in 1969. The Sun was a popular newspaper, but Rupert made it even more famous by changing the way it looked and what it wrote about. He decided to make the newspaper interesting to many people, not just a few. He focused on stories about famous people, sports, and entertainment. This made The Sun very popular. Rupert's business continued to grow. In the 1980s, he decided to move to the United States, where he saw a lot of opportunities. He bought a TV network called Fox. This was a big step, because TV was very important in America, and Rupert wanted to be part of it. He also bought many newspapers and TV channels in the United States. One of the biggest successes he had in the US was Fox News, a news channel that became very popular and well-known. Rupert Murdoch also worked in other countries, including Asia and Europe. He bought newspapers and TV stations in many places, and his company became one of the biggest media companies in the world. His company was called News Corporation, but later it was called 21st Century Fox. Over the years, Rupert made a lot of money and became one of the richest men in the world. Although Rupert Murdoch's businesses were very successful, they were also sometimes very controversial. Some people did not like how Rupert ran his newspapers and TV stations. They said that he used his power to control what people saw and read. Many people also criticized Rupert for making newspapers that were very focused on scandals, gossip, and sensational stories. Despite this, Rupert's media empire continued to grow. One of the most important moments in Rupert's career came in the 1990s, when his company bought a company called the Fox Broadcasting Company. This was a very big deal because Fox was one of the most popular TV networks in the United States. After buying Fox, Rupert Murdoch became even more important in the media world. His company was now in charge of a big TV network, newspapers, and many other forms of media. Rupert's company was very good at making money. He understood how to create content that people wanted to watch and read. He also knew how to sell advertisements to companies who wanted to reach a large number of people. He built a business that made billions of dollars every year. He had a talent for knowing what people liked and how to make it available to them. In the 2000s, Rupert Murdoch started to face some problems. Some of his companies were involved in scandals, and people started to question his business practices. One of the biggest scandals was the phone hacking scandal in the UK. Journalists working for Rupert's newspapers were accused of listening to people's private phone calls without permission. This caused a lot of problems for Rupert's company, and he had to apologize publicly. Despite this, his company continued to be very powerful. Rupert Murdoch has always been a person who likes to take risks. He has made big decisions that many people thought were too risky, but many of those decisions turned out to be very successful. For example, his decision to invest in cable television and online news was very smart. Even though many people doubted him, Rupert saw the future of media and understood that the world was changing. He knew that technology would play an important role in how people got their news and entertainment. In the 2010s, Rupert's company changed again. He split News Corporation into two parts. One part, called 21st Century Fox, focused on television and entertainment. The other part, called News Corporation, focused on newspapers and other types of media. This was another big decision, and it showed that Rupert wanted to keep up with the changing world of media. Despite the changes and challenges, Rupert Murdoch's influence in the media world has been huge. He has built a global business that reaches millions of people every day. His companies have changed the way people get their news, watch TV, and enjoy entertainment. Rupert has always believed in the power of the media, and he has worked hard to make sure that his companies stay at the top. Rupert Murdoch's life and career show that he is a very ambitious and determined person. He has faced many challenges and has had to deal with difficult situations. But through all the ups and downs, Rupert has always managed to stay successful. He continues to be one of the most important figures in the media industry today. Throughout his career, Rupert has made many important decisions that have shaped the media landscape. He has been a pioneer in using new technology and new ideas to grow his business. He has also shown that he is not afraid to take risks. Even when other people were unsure about new technology or new ways of doing things, Rupert was often the first to try them. Despite his success, Rupert Murdoch has also had to deal with criticism. Some people have said that he has too much power over the media, and that this power can influence the opinions of millions of people. Others have said that he has focused too much on making money, and not enough on providing good quality news. But no matter what people say about him, Rupert's influence on the media is undeniable. Today, Rupert Murdoch is still active in his companies, even though he is older. He continues to be an important figure in the world of media. His businesses continue to make a lot of money and reach millions of people around the world. Rupert has shown that with hard work, determination, and a good understanding of business, it is possible to achieve great success. He has built an empire that has changed the way people get information and entertainment, and his impact on the media world will be felt for many years to come.